All right, what his history told us. Um, you know the saying, like, China is the oldest empire. It's a very, very old civilization. Uh, Europe is actually very, very diverse. But with exception of kind of like Greece, which is not as old as China either, which I don't buy the story of Greece or Rome. I think probably something else is going on. But most of Europe, like, fairly new, right? And the way they use the Europeans to go around the world, fuck up everyone else, is first they fucked up the Europeans using the hexes and the curses, like money, like that form of money, but especially Christianity. Christianity is, if you really look at it, like the most detrimental thing that ever happened to mankind. But it's actually a good thing when you view it certain ways. Like, you know, you have up and down with every wave in the heartbeat. You have the drawing of the bow. It is leading to something. Having reduced our shamed our energies for so long, like being condemned for lusting, being condemned for anger, being condemned for basically good health. I'll put it in the description here, but like the book The Antichrist by Frederick Nietzsche, like if you like really listen and you can turn off that robot triggered brain. Like, say if you go to church on a normal basis, you have a robotic brain. You are programmed by the preacher. And you might even agree with that, but you still will. Anyways, if you really consider, like, say what that book says, like, it's not giving you a belief to go by. It's just pointing out, all right, this is what Christianity and other religions is saying. Let's look at this as adults. Does that make any sense? Is this like absurd? Like, it is straight up. It's like a mental disease. Not just Christianity though. That's just one form of the dogma. But see, what I was getting at is, like, with the history of Europe, that was introduced into Europe to basically get everyone trained and spellcasted so they could be used. And much newer than, say, Buddhism, and like much newer than China and Buddhism. Now, basically, what his story told us is they got what a lot of Europeans were barbaric, right? And, you know, also very diverse tribes. And they got the man that was actually living that would go out and hunt elk and was connected with the earth. And, you know, like, say the concept of Rome and China, very, very civilized, eating grain or rice, disconnected from the earth, not embracing natural, like, say, like for man's natural tendencies to hunt. So they were called, basically turned into a herd animal a lot sooner than, they've been a herd animal, trained to be one, the Chinese, for example, a lot longer than European. So Buddhism has to deal with, I mean, you can look at it however you want, but Christianity, it was like to get a natural, barbaric people that can get in touch with their primitive side easily, was convert them into obey. Now, Buddhism is more for like a society that is already obeying, right, and starting to go through the anguish of it, kind of like the Westerners now, right? Like, hopefully I'm describing it properly, but see what I'm saying is, like, we were more primitive, like not so long ago, and then we were like one of the main things that like really got us obeying, right? Put your head, now bow your head and close your eyes, and each hand is arresting each other in prayer. So we went from primitive, free, natural to that recently. But China has been obeying for a long time, right? Like a system. So the Chinese experience what a lot of Westerners are experiencing now, which is like the anguish of So Buddhism is a newer version. Like basically step one to gain control of the lunatic tribes, right, is Christianity. And then after like 2,000 years or whatever, they start to feel like, all right, where we got is like this ain't right for our souls. And then boom, something like Buddhism. That is so much of the modern day spiritual shit. Like I see that as like an attempt to do that. What the main thing, if I put it in a very small nutshell, what is actually going on, right? I just feel like sharing this to anyone that will listen. What is actually going on, like say like with the 5D change or whatever, and like, oh, we're gonna be rescued or whatever. Like when things start to change, we act like morality is behind these powers that will bring the change. Like that, basically, morality is the powers that are doing it. If you want to think that, like, look at some of my recent videos earlier. Like, morality is not the responsible for the reason why life and nature exist. It isn't. We've been treating it like morality is the father and the mother of life and nature. That's just insane. That's fucking retarded. And the things, what we're, say those of us waking up or whatever, what we're actually experiencing right now is we're still treating it like the brain, we call it brainwash, I call it brain contamination. We're still treating it like the same nature as the normies, the new normies that don't see anything. We're not seeing anything still. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're still like, oh, morals behind everything. So, and say like their morals, it's something that probably something very, very sinister gave them, because a lot of their morals are anti-life, and also like, where do these morals actually come from? Morals, reason, and logic, these type of things are not causing the change right now. Start to look at things as energy, right? And energy flow, whatever. And the consciousness kind of like for the ride. And basically everything is such complex energy, it gave rise to what we often call consciousness. And even egoism, right? Which, by the way, like, say the new age spiritual shit, bash and egoism. What is exactly egoism? Is, say, my ego the same as your ego? Is it a one size fits all? You know what I'm saying? Like, to transcend, you need to get rid of your ego. I think that's really stupid. I mean, like, get rid of persona, like trying to basically, which would include conform to people like you and conform to what the fuck they're saying and not thinking for yourself. Like, get rid of your ego. What's causing the transcendence, right, is not logic, it's not reason, it's not morals. That's not what is actually causing it. It's energy. And one of the reasons why I'm expressing this is the energy has been, I say often, the bow has been drawn back, has been denied for so long. And people are still denying it. It's starting to pour through now, at least me, and I would think people like me. And one of the things is this: you ever notice that the dreams you have at night, at night, think about it, they're more vibrant than this reality, aren't they? Like the colors more popping out you. Like at least for me, things are bigger. Like your dreams are more vibrant than your waking days. You're in the days, all your days. It makes up your weeks. So one of the reasons why I'm expressing this is it's a good reminder for me, right? It helps me process when I also talk to whatever. But the energy wants to pour through now. And when I do things like share this with people that can possibly see what I'm saying, and if they can grasp it in their own way, then energy can start pouring through them. And in a way, it's kind of like a rewarding of the universe when you share stuff like this. Because the way things have been hidden for so long. Now the poles are flipping, and when you share, and also too, like when you try to hoard, like, ooh, this is mine, you limit yourself. You get stuck there. Like the things you own end up owning you, and that's including ideas, right, and beliefs. The more you share it, and like this whole thing, the consciousness as a whole wants more vibrance, wants a new or whatever. So like say me sharing this, whatever, if say one other person will get it, then that'll open some valves, right? For more energy start flowing through them. And then, which might encourage me, might encourage others, and then it's more vibrant energy, and this place starts to become a masterpiece again, a work of art.